Gear up for all the brand new content coming to Grand Theft Auto Online with G2A with the link in the description and use code BOSS for an extra discount. Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here. And in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how much money you're going to need for all the brand new upcoming unreleased content that we're going to be getting within the next couple weeks, hopefully in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now, to get you guys ready for the content that's out right now, which is the Progen GP1, I've got a shark card giveaway that's going on my Twitter account right now. That is ending tomorrow, Friday, which is also St. Patrick's Day. So check that link out in the description. I'm giving away $1.25 million, which is basically a free GP1. So one lucky person will be walking away with that. But there's a lot of content that's coming out after the GP1, and we're going to be talking about how much money you're going to need for that today. So in case you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, we're obviously getting the 3 new vehicles in Furnace, Turismo, and Hijack Rustin, but we're also getting some new returning content as well, and I'm going to be talking about the potential price tags of those for Grand Theft Auto Online players. So let's get into it today. The first vehicle that has actually been found in the files that is set to return is the Marshall Monster Truck. Now, the Marshall Monster Truck is pretty awesome. You can select between 25 different liveries, and it is $500,000. So this one is super cool. It's actually one of my favorite vehicles in the game. It's basically the Picador, but on giant monster truck wheels and suspension. So I thought that's pretty awesome. That's the first vehicle that's going to be returning to online. The next vehicle is the Dinka Blista Compact. This is one of my favorite cars from GTA 4. For whatever reason, it's in the sports car category, so we'll just kind of ignore that for now. It's only $42,000, which is not bad at all, and it actually has some pretty unique looking customization. You can really make this look like a cool tuner style vehicle. So that's the second vehicle that's coming. You've got the Dinka Blista Compact, and it's only $42,000 right there. The next vehicle is the Kraken. So the Kraken submarine is pretty pricey. It's $1.325 million, and it's probably the best submarine we have in the game in terms of agility and exploration. I can't really tell you the last time I've used a vehicle like this, but nonetheless, the Kraken is still pretty cool, and I remember in single player doing all those like wildlife photography challenges just to try and unlock this vehicle. But it's going to be added to online, and if it is, it will be $1.325 million right there. Moving on, our next vehicle is the Impante Dukes. Again, the Impante Dukes is one of the best cars of all time. Whether you're recreating the car from the Dukes of Hazzards or building Dom's Charger from the Fast and the Furious, this is such an amazing vehicle, and it's so epic, and it's only $62,000 as well, which is actually not all that bad. So I know many of you guys are really hyped to have the Dukes added back into the game. Up next, we've got the Dodo Seaplane making its return from GTA San Andreas. It is also $500,000, and this is actually a pretty useful vehicle if you use it. It's the only airplane that can land on water, but also on land. So I'm not sure why this isn't utilized more. Maybe because it's a super slow plane that really can't turn and doesn't really go all that fast. But if you are looking to go from air to sea pretty quickly, the Dodo Seaplane is definitely going to be your best bet. And then after the Dodo Seaplane, we've got the Declasse Stallion, which is another epic car. It's only $71,000. Rockstar said it has been imported from Liberty City, so that's pretty epic right there. The Stallion is super cool, and it's got some pretty epic customization that you can do to it as well. So I really like the Stallion. It is awesome. So those 6 vehicles right there will be available to players who don't have them right now. Now, if you're someone who doesn't own them right now, it's probably because your first copy of GTA 5 was either on the PS4, the Xbox One, or the PC. Those rewards were for returning players that played the game on Xbox 360 and PS3. So I know not everyone is going to have to purchase all of those, but if you do and you want to buy all of them, your total is going to be $2.5 million on the dot. So that is pretty pricey for 6 vehicles. I know a good chunk of that is the Kraken. Some of them aren't all that expensive, like the Duke, Stallion, and Ballista Compact, but for the sake of this video, we're going to include it. So it's $2.5 million for those 6 vehicles for the returning content that was for the longest time an exclusive bonus for players coming from the last generation. So that is pretty awesome right there. Now, we also got some information today that the Duke of Death is going to be returning to Grand Theft Auto Online, and it's also been revealed that we know what its price tag is. So this comes from FunMW2 as well as Foxy Snaps, and they have stated that the Duke of Death is $665,000. $100,000. He states, not sure if it's available for everyone or exclusive to players who have the bonus. So he's talking about players that, came from the 360 to the Xbox One or to the PS4, etc. But I think it's going to be available to everyone. So again, that's pretty pricey. Rockstar really could have priced this as expensive as they wanted, and players like myself, and I know many others, probably would have still bought it, but that's actually not too bad. It's pretty reasonable, especially for a completely armored car. When this vehicle's added into the game, I'll obviously show it off and everything like that, but it's an armored vehicle and it's pretty menacing and has a lot of stopping power too. So if we add the Duke of Death's price to the 6 vehicles you would get for the returning bonus, that brings our total to $3,165,000 for those 7 combined vehicles. So needless to say, you're going to need to keep saving up a little bit. Even though the only thing we got was the GP1, there's still a lot of new content that's going to be coming out very, very shortly, hopefully within the next couple weeks in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now, let's move on to the other 3 vehicles that we know about. That's the Hijack Rustin, that is the Infernus Classic, and it's also the Turismo Classic. Well, it came out yesterday that Foxy Snaps not only discovered the release of them, but also discovered the final prices too. So I'll put this image on the screen right now. You can see on the second row, first column, we see our Progen GP1 with the price that we know. And then on the top row, we can see the 3 unreleased vehicles. So the one on the far right, which is going to be releasing first, is the Hijack Rustin, coming in at $430,000, which is actually not terrible for sports cars. I think that's cheaper than the Masacro race car. It's somewhere along the lines of the same price of the Jester race car. It's certainly cheaper than some other ones like the Lynx that has been added into the game. So that's not all that bad right there. Once again, it will really kind of depend on how good that vehicle is performance-wise to justify that price. And then we've got the next one that'll be releasing, the Pegassi Infernus Classic, the most expensive of the hidden ones, $915,000, which again is going to be pretty cool. And we know it's a sports classic vehicle, so it'll be cool to see if it dethrones the Sterling GT in the sports classic category. And then finally, last but not least, the final one that'll be coming out, the Grotti Turismo Classic, $705,000. So not terrible right there. So everything with the exception of the GP1 and the Kraken has been under $1 million, which is actually not terrible. So I'm actually pretty surprised and pleased with the prices. So if we add all 3 of those together, the $705,000 for the Turismo Classic, the $915,000 for the Infernus Classic, and the $430,000 for the Rustin, that brings our grand total to $5,215,000 for those 3 vehicles, the Duke of Death, and the 6 bonus vehicles as well. So that just gets you a ticket to the content. Now, there's many vehicles like the Ballista Compact, the Duke of Death, Stallion, Dukes, all 4 of these vehicles that I just mentioned, they have customization options. So I would imagine that if you bought every single one of them, you'd likely spend anywhere from $1 million to $2 million on customization, which would bring your grand total to either $6,215,000 or $7,215,000 for everything. So that's literally everything I've mentioned in this video. Now, I know that not everyone is going to purchase every single thing. They might not need to, or they might not want to. However, that's how much it's going to cost you for all the brand new vehicles that are eventually going to be added into online. Now, if you're like me and you have no reason to buy the 6 vehicles that we touched on first, you only have a need to buy the Duke of Death, Turismo, Infernus, and Rustin, then your total with customization is going to be $3.75 million to $5.75 million, which is a little bit better. And that's obviously good because I don't have to buy the Kraken. I don't have to buy the Dukes unless I really want to. So that total isn't terrible, but it's still a little bit of money that you're going to need in order to get everything, in order to customize everything too. And on the note of customization, we know that these 6 returning vehicles, as well as the Duke of Death, are not Benny's vehicles. They can only be modified in the Los Santos custom shop. And the pictures that we just got from Foxy Snaps regarding the 3 new ones, Rustin, Infernus, and Turismo, that all confirms that they are not going to be Benny's vehicles as well. So the customization isn't going to be crazy in terms of liveries and super weird things that you could do, but I still believe there's going to be a good amount of customization you can do, as I mentioned in my video a couple days ago, so that's definitely going to add to your price at the end. So bottom line, I would start saving up because there's actually a good bit of content that's going to be coming. Probably the biggest complaint I've had about this DLC so far is people are saying they're bored already, there's nothing to do. Well, it definitely looks as if there's a lot of new stuff that should be coming pretty soon into Grand Theft Auto Online. Now, I'm not entirely sure when the other content is going to be released, like the Duke of Death or stuff like the Kraken and the Stallion. The only thing we know is the release of the Hijack Rustin, Infernus Classic, and Turismo, and it's the order that I just mentioned right there. So it'll be interesting to see if Rockstar like sprinkles in that content alongside the Infernus, Turismo, and Rustin, or if they're just going to release it at the end or at the beginning. Like I said, we really don't know. All I know is that it's coming sometime soon and that it looks to be a little bit pricier than normal. And other than that, there isn't anything else to buy. There's no new clothing, guns, weapons, accessories, anything like that. We've obviously got 3 adversary modes that are coming into the game too, but that's not going to cost you anything. That's just going to be making you money, if anything. But that should give you a pretty good idea of how much money you're going to need. So start saving up now if you don't have those funds. Or if you do, just kind of pick out the things you want and start getting hyped because it will be released sometime soon here in GT Online. But really, that's all the information I have for you guys in this video today. Let me know in the comments section down below which vehicle are you most excited for? The Turismo, the Infernus, the Rustin, the Duke of Death, one of the exclusive returning bonuses. Let me know your thoughts, opinions, and more down there. If you did go on to enjoy the video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.